we were, in the midst of the war on COVID and what I think was a currency war, a war on capital. When someone says, I'm going to charge you 1% for all your money in the bank, that's pretty close to a war on capital, right? In that situation, we had to choose between a fast death, a slow death, or taking a risk.
Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. In today's video, Michael Saylor, an American entrepreneur and co-founder of MicroStrategy, answers thought-provoking questions on science, technology, prosperity, innovation, and Bitcoin.
We looked at all of our cash, and on one hand, our cash was earning 0% interest, but the S&P index rallied, and stocks were hitting an all-time high, and it was pretty clear that financial assets were going up, and the cost of capital was like 12%. If the cost of capital is 12%, if I have to generate a 12% return on my capital, I'm generating a 0% return for the next 4 years. There's going to be a shareholder revolt. So we were worried about losing our employees, and we were worried about losing our shareholders, and we had this big pile of cash which was worthless. And then the central bankers said, we're not even thinking about raising interest rates. And some central bankers said, well, we think we should make interest rates negative. So our primary asset was a liability. Our human asset was maybe going to drift away from us. And our shareholders were unhappy, right? That is the essence of the paradigm shift. What's the fast death? The fast death is give the capital back to the shareholders. If we simply bought the stock back, we would have a company not growing with the employees working from home with no shareholders. And the stock was trading $2 million a day and no volatility. And so if there's no volatility and there's no liquidity, the stock options are worthless. But the stock options are how you compensate your employees. They're going to get hired away by the trillion-dollar companies that have infinite money and have stocks and companies that are growing and stocks that are stock options that are valuable. So giving the capital back would just make us die fast. We'd have to sell the company. The slow death is keep the capital, but the stock options are worthless. The human capital bleeds off. The shareholder base bleeds off. We get lost.
Bitcoin's price has rebounded by approximately 18.5% over a week after crashing to its 6-month low of around $49,755. However, owing to a mix of technical and on-chain indicators, the cryptocurrency may undergo further correction in the coming weeks. BTC's ongoing correction cycle has accompanied a decline in the percentage of long-term holders in profits, calculated on a 30-day moving average. As of August 16, nearly 83% of these matured Bitcoin holders, those who have held the cryptocurrency for more than 155 days, were in a profitable position. In March, the percentage of profit-making long-term investors was around 96%. A high number of BTC held in profit is often seen as a sign of FOMO, which typically precedes or coincides with price corrections. As a result of this on-chain signal, Bitcoin's price may see pullbacks over the coming days if LTAs decide to book profits. As noted, ascending triangles are considered bullish reversal patterns in a downtrend. Therefore, Bitcoin's decisive close above its 54 HEMA could increase its probability of rallying toward the triangle's upper trend line, which aligns with its 204 HEMA, the blue wave, at around $59,240. Meanwhile, a successful close above the upper trend line will likely trigger the ascending triangle breakout scenario, with the upside target at around $70,000. Edwards argues that Bitcoin's price behind its safe haven rival, gold. He overlaid BTC's chart on the gold one, recognizing that it is trailing the precious metals move by 3 months. Gold is already broken out of its previous consolidation trend to the upside, which may prompt Bitcoin to do the same. As a rough rule of thumb, macro Bitcoin trends are often lagged behind gold by a few months, Edwards said, adding that the cryptocurrency's upside outlook looks promising. Federal Reserve's potential rate cuts may further boost Bitcoin's upside outlook. Lower rates reduce the opportunity cost of holding yielding assets, like U.S. bonds, boosting the appetite for riskier assets, like stocks and crypto.
The king of commodities is gold, but gold supply increases 2% a year. And so gold itself is not outperforming the S&P index. You can't, so that wouldn't work either. So then we started thinking, can we buy real estate? But how do you buy a liquid portfolio of $500 million worth of real estate? And the problem was real estate's valued based upon interest rates. So if interest rates go to zero, real estate values triple. And so the real estate values by the summer of 2020 were extremely high because the interest rate was extremely low. So then you start thinking, what's left? Art? How do I find a diversified portfolio of high quality art that's fairly valued? Not easy. We crossed all those things off the list and we thought, well, what if we could fix the defects of gold? What about digital gold? And that led us to crypto. And the idea of digital gold is, what if I actually could create 21 million gold coins, dematerialize them, move them at the speed of light, and then make it impossible for anybody to make any more of the gold coins? And what if I could move them on a computer? And I thought, well, that sounds like magic gold. But if God came down from heaven and said, look, I'm going to run the monetary system. I'm going to create 21 million holy coins. I'm going to store them in heaven. I'm going to let you decompose them infinitely. I'm going to let you telepathically move them between any two counterparties and make sure nobody cheats each other. And I promise to do the work for next to nothing forever. You would probably think that's okay. That's probably an upgrade to every existing deal you're going to get. But in the absence of a deity offering to do that for you, then the next best thing is, what if we actually created that system with cryptography and the internet and some semiconductor technology? And that, in essence, is what Satoshi did. Satoshi created a crypto network, which is like perfect pharmaceutical-grade gold. Satoshi called it a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And so that system became a form of crypto gold. We were looking around for something to replace our dollars with. What is our treasury asset? And by process of elimination, everything else was overpriced or defective, or not acceptable from a regulatory point of view because they're securities and not commodities. So we found the one thing that might work. And you have to go through this analysis. Well, there's 10,000 copies. What's the winner? Well, Bitcoin was the winner of the 10,000 copies. Was it banned? No, it looked like it wasn't going to be banned because the IRS had designated it as property in 2014. And then the last part is that it had been hacked. And Satoshi has 1 million coins. It was worth $10 billion at the time we were looking. Today it's worth $60 billion. And no one can they can't hack it to get those 1 million coins in that wallet. And I figured, if no one's figured out how to steal $10 billion hiding in plain sight, then it must be pretty hard to hack. And once we determined all that, we embarked on our Bitcoin journey.
Despite the continued accumulation, Bitcoin fell below $58,000 on August 16 after losing 4.2% over the past week. However, according to technical analyst Titan of Crypto, Bitcoin could still be on track to $66,000 by September based on historical post-halving chart patterns. The analyst wrote in an August 15X post, "Historically, the fourth month after the halving has always been bullish for #BTC, closing above the halving price. If this pattern repeats, September could be a bullish month above $66,000. However, according to popular analyst Rect Capital, Bitcoin's price first needs to overcome a significant resistance of around $61,700. The analyst wrote in an August 14X post, Notice how the local highs of $61,700 black are acting as resistance. Interestingly, BTC is consolidating between the late June wedge highs, $62,000 black, which are back to figuring as resistance, and the early July wedge highs, $58,280, which are now acting as support. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Saylor. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.